Oi, 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 oi. Oh, we got bloody movement in the old room already. Oi, oi. How's people doing? All right. Hope everybody's good. Can everybody hear me all right? Because I'm like going through the old sound box, and I turned the main light out, and I've got the old lamps on, sweet as a nut. Wife is over a friend's house to take care of cats and birds and one and the other. And yeah, some running free. Well, I've got my daughters here, but my oldest is going out later, and I'm probably gonna go and get a coffee. You know, I know this little late night little coffee joint that's pretty freaking sweet as a nut. But can you hear me? Can people hear me? Hello, hello. I hope everybody can hear me all right. But there's this really, I found this really cool. I'm going to talk a little bit about this freaking bit of music that I've just been checking in with as well, which is like unbelievable. It was this young fella, gospel drummer, listening to Slipknot's Duality. If you know Slipknot, it's like, and you know, Duality is like, it's the drumming in it is like freaking really cool. And I love watching gospel drummers because it's so rounded. It's such a beautiful sound there. It's just smooth. But can everybody hear me? Otherwise, I'll keep rattling on. All right. Let's see. I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's having a good start of the week. Sweet as a nut. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So I know I'm on. Is Dan still in as well? I don't know if Dan's in. I just threw this up there just for the hell of it. I thought, you know, I said to my youngest, I'm like, you know, I think I might go live. She goes, go for it. I'm like, all right. And she told me to go for it. The old man's got to go for it, right? So we'll do a little bit of breath work, I thought. We'll do a little breath work, and then we'll get into some chatting and shit, and like to see what the week's been. Looking at the positives. Don't look at the negatives. Yeah. Don't look at the negatives. There's a bunch of that just being thrown around like crazy right now. And it's time to fucking start looking at the positives of what's been going on in our day and working on self. I don't know if you've checked out my vlog that I put up today out there. But anyway, we're getting a little bit of breath work in a minute. I got me daughters are cooking up. Yeah, it does, matey, because you know, I by following this path that I'm on, this journey that I'm on. I remember when I was younger, I didn't really kind of make up my own mind. I just kind of followed what Dad followed. I wasn't into politics, you know, but it was one of those things like, you know, you got to vote. So when I, you know, as I grew up, I was like, oh, blimey. And then I actually worked in the House of Commons. I was a chef in there. And you just see just you know. So I just went completely off of politicians altogether. I don't know if there's politicians, you know, watching this and they're saying they're not like that. Please, you know, let me know. Tell me, because I'll tell you what, you know, I try and stay away from it completely. I don't pick sides because it's the best way on the journey. Pick a side, you're agreeing with something that, you know, can all of a sudden cause suffering and shit. So I just listen and look, and I don't pick anything. I keep myself. But yeah, there's a lot going on out there right now. And there's a lot of tension going on out there right now, and you know, there's people that's hurt, and you know, there's people that's, you know, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I don't like coming from the journey I'm on. I don't like going online and that, and then seeing people wanting hurt on somebody else. It just doesn't jive with my journey at all. And you know, if you're following this kind of journey and you're talking about peace and love and caring for a human being, you know, you look past everything and you look at the human being. So I can't I can't I can't not just freaking like somebody because of something, you know. Then nobody's gonna agree with my shit, and I'm not gonna agree with everybody else's shit. We all have our views, we all have our beliefs, you know, and every one of us is entitled to it. But it's just best to just, you know, stay in the middle. That's what I do. I'm like, oh, that sounds right. Oh, that sounds right. I don't know. I just probably, you know, I can't vote anyway, so never voted. Can't bring myself to participate in this nonsense. Not one president has made my life different. We need right, 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 right. I mean, you know, the bloody politics down here. It's like, what? You know, it's like, again, I don't care who's in power. If I'm looking at something and it's, I always go back, you know, where it's meant to be. You know, when you talk about democracy, it's like the people are meant to run, you know, the country, and they're meant to be there to, you know, demonstrate that for us. But it's like, blimey, you know. But I want to get in. I want to get in a bit of breath work in a minute. If you're up for it, we'll do a little bit of we'll do a little bit of the old breath work, and then we can get into some, you know, we can get into some chatting a little bit. My girls are out there knocking out a bit of nosh. I've got they bought me a nice bun thing and a vegan burger, and so I'm like ready to go. I think my daughter said she was going to knock up some chips, and lovely jubbly. Hey matey, how you doing? You all right, matey? Hope you're good, Dan. I didn't think you was in here, mate. Right. You know, I used to be that freaking guy that, like, I'd watch England play rugby, or I'd watch England play footy, and I would get into those freaking headspaces, like those nutters that you used to see on the TV, you know, like in the stands. And you know, I never got involved in any of that growing up and that, but it was all around, you know, 80s and all that. It was, I lived probably, if you walked it, maybe 20 minutes from Charlton Football Stadium. So you could hear it. You could, if the wind was blowing right and there was something going on, you could hear it. You could hear the crowd and everything. So, and then you go up in, you know, you got West Ham over in the East End, and then you got Millwall over in my end, and it's, you know, it's all rivalry and all that. I never got into all that, but watching some of the international stuff on TV and that, mate, yeah, I started freaking like getting angry. It's like, blimey, hold up a minute, that's attachment 101, right? Causes suffering. You're attached, right? So you know, and then thinking everything's the best, and then I started to look at histories, and people were putting things my way, saying, "Well, look at this, you know, we did this, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Good point. You know what? It wasn't always good boys in England, right? Shit. Only be on for a bit. I'll have to drop off. I may get back on if you're still all. Yeah, man. It was just a one-off thing. I thought I'd jump on, do a little breath work. Would you want to get into some breath work then, Dan? Have you got time for that? Because I'll get in a little bit of breath work, just some slow, nothing major, no like deep out and freaking meditation shit. We'll just get into some just some breathing work. I've actually got some sounds to put on in the background. Let me know if you can hear this, yeah? Let me know if you can hear that and if it's loud enough. Because I haven't got my headset on. I can kind of hear it, but I want to make sure you guys can hear it. Bit louder. How's that? A little louder. How about that? I'm near the top of like volume, I think, unless I haven't got it up on here. That could be it. Good? Yeah? Sweet. Because let me. Yeah, it's water. So I don't, it's not like, and I think I'll put thunderstorm in the background or something, thunder. But let's just get in something, just relax, yeah? If you're sitting, just sit with your back away from the, if you're sitting in a chair, get your back away from the backrest if you can. If not, use the backrest if your back's messed up. Don't push anything. Don't overthink anything either. And all you're going to do is, what I do is I put my palms up on my legs with my feet flat on the ground. If I'm going cross-legged, I do the same thing. I put them up, palms up in receive mode. And we're just going to do some breath work. We're not going to do anything kind of meditative, big shit or nothing like that, right? We're just going to start breathing. And all I want you to do, you can do it with your eyes open, no biggie. But I just start tuning in. In fact, if you pick a spot, if you keep your eyes open and you can practice this, if you can practice eyes open with a soft gaze, they call it a soft gaze, like you just woke up. They call it a soft gaze. But if you can pick a spot and be able to do breath work with your eyes open, it's great, because and then you're finding a different method to where you could be anywhere and people wouldn't even know. But you can tune into breath without even, closing your eyes or anything like that. So if you can keep your eyes open, pick a spot, great. And just keep focused on it. And I would just want you to start tuning into what the breath's doing. Just tuning into what the breath is doing, where you're feeling it. And just have that background sound just start taking you even more relaxed. Just relaxing the breath. Again, you don't have to shut your eyes. You can keep your eyes open. But don't overthink anything. Just tune into what the breath is doing, allowing that breath to come in through the nose and then out through the nose. Each breath in, bringing the belly outwards, filling the lungs, filling the diaphragm, taking that breath all the way down, nice and long. Just pause at the top. And then allow that breath to release out through the nose, just relaxing the body with the breath out. Bringing the body to more relaxed state, calming the mind. Breathing in. Pausing at the top. Just pausing. Don't overthink. Don't even think that you're pausing at the top, because then you're telling the mind that you've got no breath, and you have. Just relaxing the mind into it, and then allow that breath to come out through the nose. Releasing it nice and slowly. Start being aware of slowing it down now. Pausing at the top, suspending the breath. And then releasing back out through the nose, coming to an even more relaxed state of mind now. And just tune in where you may be feeling any kind of tension. Sometimes in the forehead, base of the skull, I get it quite a bit. In the neck, across the traps, in the face, your eyes. Wherever you start feeling any tension, when you take a nice deep breath in, which we'll do together in a minute, I want you to pull the energy right into that breath. Make it count. You're going to pull that breath right away into wherever you're feeling any kind of tension. And then we're going to suspend the breath at the top. And then we're going to breathe out through the nose. And as we breathe out, we're just going to release that shit out and let it go. Let it go with the breath. Letting the area just relax. So on 3, we're going to take a nice long deep breath in. We're going to suspend at the top, and then I'll tell you when to let that breath just start easing out and easing the tension in your body. Become aware of any kind of stiffness that you may find when you take that breath in. Just breathe it out and let it go. On 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Suspend. Then release that breath out with through the nose, just releasing any toxic shit that may be holding in your face, in your forehead, in your neck, your traps, people that have said shit to you through the week. Let it go. Nice long deep breath in. Suspend. And release that out again, nice and slowly, bringing that body to a nice relaxed state. Nice and soft. Imagining those muscles just soft, like you're floating in water. Imagine yourself floating in water, what that feels like weightless. Tune into where you're sitting. And on 3, I'll count you up out of this breath work. Just taking in some nice, long, deep breaths. And allowing it to release out. On 1. 2. And 3. Just relaxing the body out. Just coming to a nice, relaxed state of mind, being aware. How's the body feeling? Hopefully it's relaxed out a little bit. And turn this down. How you doing? Doing good? It's a good practice just to take in those just nice, long, deep breaths and then just that bit of a pause at the top and then allowing that just to release out slow. We'll start to send those messages to the nervous system to just start slowing down. I've been using it a lot lately. Tuning in, becoming aware. Becoming aware. Yeah. What part of it? It's kind of hard to do when you relax. What do you mean? What part of it? What part of it is the? Because I've even had someone say, "Oh, what do you mean by let your shoulders in?" The even breaths, what the breath in and then pausing at the top is like difficult, or because don't just build up to it. You build up to it, yeah. I know when I was doing yoga, and I was doing one called Kundalini. It's great yoga. Look it up. It's freaking awesome yoga. When I was doing Kundalini yoga, they would say, don't push beyond. I did at one point and messed my back up. But, they say don't go beyond what your body's telling you. Yeah. Feels like you're forcing it a bit. Well, if you're pulling in air, you kind of are a little bit like a long breath. But if you try just sitting, yeah, and don't pull hard, what I find is if you do nice long kind of pulls like we did and then releasing it out, it just gives you a little bit more of that like oxygen level. I find a little bit more of a euphoric. And it brings your levels down a bit. But if you have like trouble doing it, just don't, like I said, don't overthink, right? So just be like this, just not forcing anything, but just being aware of slowing it down. And then allowing it to release out. Do those in between, because I mean, with Wim Hof breathing, like when I do my Wim Hof breathing, I mean, there's other breath works and all called. There's one called Breath of Fire, which we used to do in yoga, which is a really good. That's like when you pant like a dog, but you. That's freaking crazy, dude. That you because it's diaphragmatic, but you build up that oxygen level, and then what they used to do in Kundalini was they'd be like, right in, and we'd and you're like, oh, you're all meditating out, dude. You're all like, the ashram I used to go to, I miss it so much. I really do miss it. It went down as soon as that big sea hit, mate. That was it. Because when you'd have a teacher up there, and this thing when you went in there, it was all wood, and it was like a rotunda, and it was just like walking back in time. It was like walking into friggin' Hindu, Buddha, spirituality, you name it. It was there. It was like loved it. And when you used to go down this corridor to go to the bathroom, and the bathrooms was just nice as heck. It's just freaking awesome. There was community there. I want to get that back. It's like one of the reasons why I want to build this community. It's the building the community. And you can't beat community. If you have a bunch of people that are all on that same path of looking for themselves, and starting a journey, you can't beat a whole bunch of people in a community that share that same thing. And everybody's looking for, positive progressive action, and staying in a positive mind, and, obviously understanding that we're all freaking human, but it's nice to have a community that you can like fall on as well and be like, hey, shit. I'm like, I've even had it where, my old ego has got a bit like, hang on, around YouTube and shit. And, even, you out there, man, have been like, well, and it's like, yeah, hang on. Breathe. Right? It always comes back to breath. And there's a thing I was just watching yesterday. I'm always watching shit. I'd say to my guys when I'm giving them like ideas and all that and stuff that I've used, and I say to them like, listen, I don't even know where I got this from. And they start laughing. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, if it's something that I've made myself, because I have tools that I've made myself that I bring in when I work with people, guiding people as well. And I bring these things in, and I'm like, hey, try this, do that. One of them's be the cameraman, right? And it works, because it's stuff that I look at, and I might frigging say, right, where's the pattern interrupt here? So I figure something out and I use it. But it's all about that community and sharing things, and like that right there. If you can be here and go, yeah, I'm not feeling okay. Well, let's look at that, right? I don't want to push people away and be frightened of breath work and meditation and the community, and because it stands for different levels, and I don't judge anybody, nobody. If I've got someone comes to me and they want to learn and they want to, obviously I have my business and I help people for a business. It's part of my profession and all that. And I absolutely love what I do. But when I do this and I want to build a community and get a community together, that's what it's all about. Building that, hang on a minute. Hi, you left the coffee pot out with your coffee. Oh, yes, please. Oh, thank you. I made a coffee and I left it out there, so my youngest is tapping on the door. Oh, dear me. So she's like, you left the coffee out there in the coffee machine. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I made a banger. Oh, actually, it's going to be a bit sweet because we've got this eggnog syrup. And then I've got to watch with some things because of me being, I don't like saying vegan because I'm not vegan. That's a whole lifestyle, and it's a label too. I say I'm plant-based because the only reason I say plant-based is because I eat honey. But I do have to watch everything because something, even potato chips, some of those have got like milk. And the only reason I can think there'd be milk or they would write milk on the ingredients is because I know when we was in the kitchen, you just soak freaking potatoes in milk before you're going to fry them and they stay white. But it's the only thing I can think of why they would do it. So I look at this freaking syrup. I pick it up. Remember, the wife is away, right? So I'm like, oh, eggnog. All right, sweet as a nut. So I thought, yeah, it's coming. Yeah, Christmas time's coming. Get into the spirit. I'm going to take my daughter out later on, aren't we, Gabs? Oi, oi. What? What's that?
Almost fell.
What? You almost fell. Are you sure? Oh shit! Did you say coffee in there?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
I poured the coffee that you.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, I see it. All right, cool, sweet. All right, thank you. And then later on, I think my eldest is going out, so I'm gonna take me. There's this banging. My wife and I have been going out on date nights and finding these little coffee joints and stuff, and Carver Creighton bars. Oh, bars, the actual freaking. Oh, well, mate, freaking what? Oh, that smells so good, but I can smell the eggnog. Oh yeah, let me finish my story. Eggnog syrup, sweet as that. Shit, what? So I do the old fucking double espresso thing, right? I can manage that. And I've got like a plant-based creamer, and I'll whip it up a bit, lovely jubbly. But then I get the syrup, and it ain't got one of those pour things on it, and I go, and I'm like, oh shit, it's really strong. Let me taste it. Oh yeah, it's strong as shit. But hey, hey. Oh blimey, it's like, hey, do you want some coffee with your eggnog syrup? Dear me. Talk about getting in the spirit. Bloody hell. So she just bought, but yeah. So it's about, it's about community, mate, isn't it? I got talking here. I don't know if you looked at my, yeah, you did. But anybody in here or anybody watches, if you go and have a look at my last vlog out there that I put up, and when I was down the old chiropractor's office, and I got down there, big shout out to Joe, Haley, Jordan, Brent, and James, the chiropractor down there. Freaking awesome place. And Joe's he's my physical therapist down there, and I've got to know this fella, starting to know him even more now. And I walked in there, and I'm like, hey man, you're all right. And a couple of people left out. They were kind of in the room there, and I'm getting ready because I get up on this freaking massage bed thing, and he just starts to beat the shit out of me a bit. So anyway, I'm like, you all right, man? And he goes, oh, dude, I had to freaking put my dog to sleep. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh, that feeling. I automatically, and I'm an empath anyway, so I can feel it now, that freaking energy of that. It's like, jeez. I mean, I look at him and I let him talk a bit, and he knows what I do for a living and that. And I let him talk a bit, and it was weird because there was nobody else came in there, even the people that work there and shit. I noticed the door had, shut over, which it's not normally. It's not, and I'm like, it's kind of weird, And we just started talking, man. We started, because I had a client this week too that was talking about their dog, and he teared up and said, oh shit, dude, you might think I'm a bit weird. I went, hold up, time out, shit. What do you mean weird? Well, no, not at all. And I told him where I come from with my guys, with my dogs and that, and that was the understanding. It was all connect, and that's what I want with community. Building up a community, But as the week's been out there with guys out there, it says I got 2 in here. I don't know if I have or not, but How's give me something that's positive. Something that stands out in your mind as something that you can grab hold of and go, yep. What would that be? Awesome, sweet, matey. Nice one. I'm glad. Everything's sweet as a nut, yeah? I'm glad, matey. I'm glad you got that. How do you feel emotionally with that? How do you feel emotionally with that? If you sit there and you tune into the emotion of it, what would you relieved? Yeah, for sure. Right. Gratitude. Yeah. Gratitude, calm, thankful. Yeah. Yeah. And those are the things to tune into, is that. You know, when we start to feel like we haven't got anything or we're worthless or whatever, matey, I get it. Remembering that bit and that gratitude, you know, bringing that gratitude in, is really helpful. Really helpful. You know, I've had some freaking shit kicking off for me past few weeks, like, and it's like, there's been times when I'm like, even freaking, I went out for a walk and a run, and I'm like, I'm grateful that I'm able to run. I'm grateful that I have freaking good shoes on my feet to run. Right? I bought shoes for running, and being able to do that. I'm grateful for my freaking job. I'm grateful that I'm in a position that I love. I'm great. Boom, boom, and it pulls. I can feel it now. It pulls your energy up. What's something I've done that I've been happy about this week? You know, I've had successes as far as my own tune-ins, which I you know, I like to give myself the pat on the back for that a lot, because, you know, yeah, okay, don't get recognised, but like mainly with anger. I've had some outbursts lately, and it's been a bit naughty. Tell you the truth, nothing bad. I haven't gone like, well, I say nothing bad. Hey, Gabs, there's me youngest. Me youngest is in. Oi, oi. Thanks for me copy. Did you hear the story about the eggnog? Holy Lord, Gabs. Trin's in. Hello, oi, oi. The fam is in. Killer, mum's away. The kids will play. Brilliant. Brilliant. Look at me copy. Look at me. This is like freaking coffee with eggnog in it. Well, it is, but round the other way. It's like eggnog with coffee in it. The TV is really delayed, so I hear you in the office and then on the TV. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trin, eggnog syrup. I got a bit sloppy with the old syrup. I ain't got to pour on it, so when I went on, it went, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. Apparently, I looked at the ingredients. Apparently, I can drink it. It says egg on it, but there ain't no egg in it. Thank God. Anyway, what was I? I can't exactly remember what I was talking about. To tell you the truth. Yeah. I did a double espresso, and then I whipped up my creamer, and then I thought, well, before I pour the coffee in so it mixes, I'll bung the syrup in there. So I look, and I'm like, oh, eggnog syrup. Let's get ready for Christmas. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, right. Coffee. It's like a whisper of coffee. Yeah. Yeah, little whisper of coffee. But yeah, no, sorry. I do remember what I was on there. So yeah, wins with my own anger for sure this week. But also seeing wins with guys I guide is always you know, because I normally take Fridays off unless something comes up or whatever, but I get Fridays off, so I work, 4 days in the week. And there's a lot of times when it will come round to Friday morning because I do enjoy what I do, so it will come round to Friday morning, and sometimes I reflect on back. And sometimes I send messages out to guys like if they've had a bit of a heavy one, and I'm like, "Hey, you good? Check in time. You sweet as a nut." I've got some, want to get a routine going. I'm like, "How's your meditating going?" So that they make a habit of it and tune into it. And then I've had people, when I've been on the weekend, and there's nothing better to when you got someone that's. I've had people that I can remember that's going freaking suicidal, and they thought of me, and there ain't no there is no amount of money that I would want that can even compare to how that feels. It doesn't matter. I could earn whatever. It would not compare to the feeling and the emotion of somebody texting, "Steve, I'm in trouble," and then you get on. I remember it clearly, texting back and saying, "Can you get on Zoom?" Because you don't know. I don't know where they are. I don't know what's going on. And then getting on the Zoom and they're absolutely gone, lost, and being able to sit there and work with them and let them know things are safe and it's okay. I'm here. Let it go. You're angry. What's going on? What triggered this? And being able to have that person just be like, thank you. God, blimey, you can't. There ain't no amount of money that can, give you that feeling. It's amazing. So I'd say that. Yeah, I've had some pretty damn good. Well, I haven't. Guys I guide have had some good wins, and it's always good to see. And I started a new person this week, which is always good to see because that means there's another person that's wanting to get help and get along. Checked in the next day. How you doing? Yeah, sweet. So it's and it's a journey. It's a journey. My journey will never end now. It will never end now because it's all about it's all about path. It's all about what this shit means to me and where it's going and how I use it. But no, I'm glad you got your bloody van back, matey. That's freaking awesome. Great news, matey. Great bloody news. What about everybody else this week? What about my daughters? What the question I asked was, what is something in your week that you can grab a hold of and say, that was really banging, and you can really kind of get something out of it, like raised your energy up, made you feel freaking banging. What was it? Don't focus on the negatives. Focus on what was something that you accomplished, even to where you're like, yep. What is something that you can? I don't really know. I was excited to go to class for the first time in a while. All right, that's good. That's good. It's something you hold on to. This week, I was able to really push myself out of my comfort. Great, see, awesome. Pushing yourself out of comfort zones is growth. If you stay comfortable, then where's the growth? Because you're comfortable doing something within a perimeter of safety, right? To step outside of that safety area is vulnerability, and stepping out that comfort zone. Never comfortable. You know what? Not being comfortable going into goals and everything is what motivates. It keeps you moving.
I've been having joy in going to class, which is good, I think. Yeah, well, there's no think. Did you have joy going to class or didn't you? If you had joy going to class, then you had joy going to class. No thinking, right? You don't. I used to do that. I used to be like kind of guilty of like I'm feeling all right, and then I'd like say like that. I think, and it's like, well, no, I do. I feel good. All right, that's what you say. I feel good. Otherwise, his bloody brain's getting confused. Are you? Right? Finding more and more how I have anxiety about certain things, and I've been working on fighting them and pushing myself through it. There you go. See, all sweet as a nut, man. That's what it's all about. Concentrating on those things in the week. It's like me with successes, different successes that I've had that come up, and it's like, uh-oh, and and my back of my skull starts going, like, oh no, please go away. But no, bring in the successes. Got my first psycho. Oh no, shit. Next semester. All right, cool. Yeah, Gabs wants to be a psychologist as well, so she'll be able to tell me what to do. No, you start your own bleeding gear up, mate. You interfere in my shit. I already registered. Awesome. Pediatric. Yeah. Brilliant. So that's when. When is that? When is you register? Yeah, you got yours registered in quick, Trin. I remember you coming down saying I got them all in. Like, I was expecting like, oh no, right? Why you got cryy face for getting all in there? It's a good thing. Natural talent for you. What's that? What you said there? You're really good. No, you are really good at what? It's a crying, laughing face. Is it? Looks like someone's bowling their ass off to me. Like freaking lost it. Can't handle it. That face says to me, I'm done. I've freaking had enough. That's what that. Trying to reread it. You don't even know what you wrote. See, oh, girl, blimey. It's like, yes, who? Dinah Lee? Who's Dinah Lee? Who's Dinah? Listen, I don't know what you're doing to me. It can be laughing or crying, depends on your content. Listen, crying face is a crying face, a laughing face is a bloody laughing face, isn't it? What the? Are you really good at and have a natural talent that I would love to have? What does that mean? I'm a bit lost. My kids are losing me. Help me. You got to read through the lines. Oh, I can't. No, you are really good at something. Natural talent for you. Really good at and have a natural talent. That you didn't write it up properly. I've got a natural talent. Oh, thank you. Is that what you're saying? I don't. She don't. Gabs doesn't know what she's typing. She's got no idea. Read through the lines for the crying and laughing. It's guys off me. Bleach. It's gone. It's gone. Done. Oh, I'll tell you what. I think I can smell dinner. Can I? I'm probably going to come off in a sec. But I'm going to drink my tea. I've got a nice cup of tea here. Drink the rest of my coffee. I'm going to drink that now. Our dinner. Oh, Kev's in? Oh, I'll stay on for a bit. No, you're good, man. I'll stay on for a little bit. I was gonna bang out an hour. What I asked a question, matey. I said, give me something that's happened in your week that you can grab hold of, something that's yours, something that you can grab hold of that really put you on a different energy, like made you feel good, worth, purpose, whatever. Name something in your week. And I've got my daughters in here and all, Kev. Gabby and Trinity Swimmer, they're both my daughter. Trin's my oldest, Gabby's my youngest. But think, if you can think of something that hang on, someone just dropped off. What's going on? If you can think of something that through your week that you can grab hold of and go, you know what? Trini's taking a walk and I'm going to go with her so I can type as well. Oh, I wanted to go on a walk. Bummer. Think for me, listening more and not being so quick to speak changed my... All right. Okay. You know, that comes down to patience as well. You know, and giving leeway. And I take it something must have happened in the week with, you know, people, human beings, beautiful people, right? But it's, you know, it's an important part to recognize that and bring that in and blow that up loud, because it doesn't fall into the norm of everything else, right? Especially if it's a change and a shift for our own selves. I was saying earlier about how I've had some successes with my own anger this week, and being able to see, having an awareness, and then being able to have that pause, breathe, don't go there, is really something, you know. Patience, something I lack, but really try to achieve. The thing with patience, I love you coming on, Kev, because I start thinking. The thing with patience, and I work with guys with this, and patience comes down to attachment, first of all, right? I have been working on that as well, because I hate getting talked over, but I realize that I have done it myself. I have realized that my anger towards getting interrupted. Right. See, like, right, that right there. But the thing with patience is we're attaching to something, especially if it's to do with another human being, right? If we're getting into something that we don't want to hear, we're attaching to the words that's being said, right? We're attaching to something. And I always tell people one of the craziest arguments I ever had was in a kitchen, and I was working up in Maryland. I was in DC. I was working in DC. I was living in Maryland, but I was working in DC. And this lady across the kitchen, I don't know what I did. To this day, I've got no idea, but she went ballistic on me. Absolutely nuts. And the only thing I had to go by was her body language, because I didn't understand what she was saying. Excuse me. And all I could do was, because what I was hearing, I could see the body language, but because I wasn't attaching to words, my emotion wasn't attaching to the words. My eyes were seeing this thing play out that all of a sudden I'm not attached to, right? And I actually laughed. I mean, I didn't mean to. It was like, it was like weird. I was just freaking going nuts. And someone goes, "Oh, you got them pissed her off." And I said, "Well, obviously I have, but I don't know what's going on." And but I didn't engage. I didn't have to. I didn't, because of the words. And it was a lesson, because it's weird. It happened years ago, probably 25 years ago, maybe. And 25, 26 years ago it happened. But I still remember that, and now I use it when I'm helping people, because it's patience is we're attaching to something with our own insecurities as well. Our own insecurities are getting involved, so we lose our rag, we lose our patience, or we maybe we're doing something that's taking a bit of time, and we can lose our patience there, because maybe when we were growing up, hurry up, what's the matter with you? Come on, we ain't got time for that. So you lose your patience, right? There's all kinds of things. Judy says to me, which I do, is when I have someone talking to me and I need to say something, I will write it down. That way my train of thought will never falter. It might help if you. Right. Always write shit down. Yeah, if you go like, I've been doing that. I've been doing that on the regular lately in the mornings, writing stuff down, brain dumping. I'm doing this thing now that you might want to try, Kev, and anybody else is on here or anybody else who listens, is having a dialogue with yourself when you're writing. I've just bought this about and I'm trying it out on guys now. I started doing it. It works. But if you can get yourself a pad and pen, and then, the first thing is like, what am I feeling? And say it. What am I feeling? And then the brains, you're asking it a question. So it will go looking. So then you're like, maybe you got some anger, frustration, anxiety. I can what did you do? Because you don't really want to own it. So it's like I can see anxiety or something like that, right? I can see anxiety. I can see frustration. Because you're like detached from it, right? And then what's the frustration? Ask the question. Keep writing. Having a dialogue with yourself. And then I get frustrated. Where are we? Hang on. Yeah, I try to hold on to the thought and not speak over, but then I forget and then get frustrated. Yeah, right. Yeah, listen, I get it. I mean, some of my guys that I work with, well, all of them, when I'm explaining how I work, when you're getting into some of these, and you're getting into some of the, you're getting into some of the weeds, some deep mental traumatic stuff, right? And there's certain points where again I go, right, hold up, because there's like links or something that I'm thinking of, or but it's a practice. And the reason you forget or you get frustrated in that is because what human beings do, and we all do it, right, is we want to say, we want to be heard, we want to be. So the practice of listening is a practice. It really is. I didn't realize, and I'm getting better and better and better at it, the more I do my job, because I didn't realize how that is a practice. It's crazy, because certain things you hear that you would normally just skip over. You wouldn't even think about it. But when you're really on and you're listening, it's really interesting. You can really, if you make it an interest. So try this. Excuse me, hang on a minute. Okay, I have a super reactive personality, like patience isn't even a thing. I'm still working on not going for it. Best thing to do there when you like that quick is what I'm doing in my anger as well, and that right now is breathing. Stop. Even shaking your body out, like literally shaking, like freaking shaking your legs, shaking yourself out, because it's energy, it's built energy. And it's like a time bomb sitting there. So shake it out, shake it, get rid of it, run, you know, because it's a freak. Yeah, get the energy, get rid of the energy. Learn to stop, gather thoughts, and write them down until I am tired of writing. And I've noticed that the things I'm writing towards the end are more true to what I actually write, because you're starting to, you got a thing going. Writing opens up your mind. It's scientifically proven. It opens up your mind. So anyway, I don't know what you're like. You're a surfer, so there's no way you don't like a challenge. Right? You like a challenge, right? I would say that I do. I know I do. But I'm wondering, if do you like it? What's crazy? What's crazy? Um, if you like a challenge, then make what you want part of the challenge and part of the love and part of the game. Okay, you like the challenge of many a thing. Okay, hang on. Writing stuff down. By the end, it's more true. Oh yeah. Because you kind of exhaust the mind. You exhaust it. I call it brain dumping, but you exhaust it, and it's good to do it in the morning because it's a release. Because you wake up in the morning, it's like brain dump. Lots of these big people in freaking CEOs and all that, they do that. But anyway, getting back to Kevasek. If you find that there's a patience thing when you're in communication, yeah. Um, yeah. You can really, it's just brain dump, keep dumping it out. Yeah. And well done for doing that. Well done. But what you can do is make it a challenge. So it's just like with the journey I follow. Yeah. Some of the challenge with me at the minute is I want to be more aware of my anger. I want to become more in touch with what I'm feeling. And I want to be more in touch with, it's all choice, but I want to be more in touch with where some of these things are coming from. I'm not getting so mad at what is in front of me. And you make it a challenge. So, and an interest. So what I did the other day was I was like, okay, if I want to know how to, say, get a challenge accomplished, know your subject, right? So it kind of connects your subconscious and your conscious mind together to bring out how you truly feel when you achieve. Yeah, it goes more into the subconscious mind, which is 90% of your thinking. So when you write, it goes more into the subconscious mind, and that's when it starts digging shit up. Bull crap, but it makes sense. Now that's what I feel like it does. It can be completely bull crap, but it makes sense. Yeah, they say 90 to 95% of your brain power is subconscious. Yeah. My therapist said it was 95. I tell people not between, because I've heard 90 as well, but it's there. Between 90 and 95% of your brain is subconscious mind. And it don't forget anything. Nothing. Right? It's the reason why we don't have patience. What's happened? Right? Where is it where we haven't? Has people not been patient with us? Has people been honest all the time? Growing up, people not having patience with you growing up. Yeah, you pick up this. You haven't got any patience. So it's like, okay, where does it come from? It's in that subconscious part of your brain somewhere. It's there. And that's what meditation is good for. The breath work and that is slowing it all down. Anyway, get back to the challenge. So make it a daily challenge with the realization that you can slip. You don't put a huge emphasis on not slipping, because if you do that, you're putting yourself under so much pressure that you'll end up just not wanting to do it anyway, because you will slip. So to try and tell the brain that I'm not going to slip, you're going to slip that little bit, and all of a sudden you're down, you're going the other way, beating yourself up. So just make it a challenge to where you're like, okay, and then maybe even write out what you want to do to get to that challenge, like the pieces parts. Yeah. So with me, I went out there and I thought, right, what podcast is there on anger? That was the first thing I did. I thought, hang on, I couldn't freaking, because I walk in there, I throw the headphones on. And I just picked one up. It's freaking brilliant. It's a woman out in Australia, I take it Australia, and talking about anger and how to work anger and all. It's like freaking banging. So that's the first thing. I want to know what it is, what it does, what part of the mind, what's going on. So I've got some books on anger as well. And it's starting to understand that, because once you understand the subject, like listening, okay, where am I faulting in my listening, in my practice? What is it I need to know as the solution to move forward to where I want to be? And you can take that as far as you want, right? You accomplish one thing and then you're like, okay, I want to expand that. I started doing a thing with pain and the mind, because I was getting it. I've talked to my therapist because I thought I was nuts, and I talked to my therapist about this because I was like, I want to see where I can take it. And I've actually, I started by like feeling what it actually is, what pain actually is, by like, pinching or something, and then tuning into what that is. And then also telling myself all this is just a reaction of my brain saying, don't do that. Right. So if you can switch that off, you detach from what it is you're actually feeling. It's just there. You don't, as soon as you go in and you say, oh, that hurts, it hurts. The brain wants to pull away. But if you're doing it and you go, oh, what is that? What actually is that? Right. And I've actually I took a picture of it as well. And I've got a picture of this needle like in my arm, because I thought, right, what can I do? And I pierced my ear, and I didn't even know. I didn't even switching the brain. It's finding that area where you pattern interrupt. So you start learning about it. Yeah. A lot of it happens in the amygdala. Yeah, the amygdala. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in the amygdala. Yeah, and there's your frontal cortex, which is like a lot of your prefrontal cortex, which is a lot of, I believe, which is like your conscious mind. But yeah, there's a lot. The amygdala is a big one, and your your sympathetic nervous system as well. Sorry, that was supposed to be. Well, the vagus nerve is another one. All right. Is everybody? How you doing with that, Kev? What'd you think of that, mate? How does that sound? Like if you learn about it, yeah. Like look some things up. Look up some TED Talks and stuff on listening, right? Because it's if you study the listening and you make it something that you really enjoy and you want it, right? Like learning a language, yeah. If you study the listening and you tune into that, it'll allow you to listen to where you won't want to talk. When I'm looking at my guys are going through a story in front of me. Yes, I'm writing notes, but I'm watching them like hawks, because as they're talking, their demeanor will shift, and what they're saying sometimes doesn't match what they're showing me, and it's like, what's that? Right? But anyway, I'm gonna go and grab dinner, and I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. Kev, I hope that helped you out, matey. And thanks for coming out, Chill. Appreciate it, matey. And thanks to my daughters for dropping on here and making the evening lovely jubbly. So I'm gonna what's that? Oi, oi, current bun. The old sun. Yeah, matey. It sounds good. I really should. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, let me tell you about that, Kev. I've got to tell you about that. What you wrote there. You said, I really should make an effort. No, you don't have to. When you say a should, when I have people saying should, I say you're shooting on yourself because it literally is like shitting all over yourself, right? When you say I should or I have to or I've got to, it's someone pointing a finger and you're going to be more inclined to not do it because it's like someone forcing you to do it. If you say, I'm gonna choose to go forward and do something about it, right? Now you're choosing. If you actually say that to yourself, say that first. Say to yourself, I really should make an effort. So say that first. Say that first. And then say it with the choice. I'm going to choose going forward and making the effort or making it happen. Take away the effort. I'm choosing to go forward and make it happen. How do you feel? What happens? I'm going to do something about it. There you go. Now, so how do you feel? If you say, when you say, I really should, how do you feel? Like forced, right? I would think. I choose to do this and make it a reality. Brilliant. Right? How do you feel with that? Empowered, right? Right? All of a sudden there's control. When you say I should, it's like you ain't got to control. Someone else is controlling you to do it. I should do it. No, it's choice. Someone is, and I rake my guys across hot coals for words. I'm like, all right, wait, no haves tos, no shoulds, no this, no that. They're like, what? And then they start getting used to it. And every now when they say it, they go, fuck, shit. And I'm like, it's all right. And I sit there smiling at them because they know. But I want them to pick it up. So each time you do that, change it. Change it. You don't have to do anything. Everything's choice, right? Mindset different. You're right. It feels like others are telling me, right, right. And if you've had any kind of upbringing where that's actually been happening, oh, man, all of a sudden you're this big. You're a little kid. Inner child comes out. Inner child's getting hurt at that point, right? You got this, and also if you take a few steps back, that's okay. Right. Everything, nothing's linear. You're going to go as long as you're going up, and you're making the steps. You make each freaking foot forward towards the right freaking direction will get you there. Make the steps. Right. You don't have to do shit. As soon as I hear that now, you should. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm a big boy now, right? Shouldn't do something. So it make right. It's a kid. Yeah. It's what we do. Now, if you're going to go over and touch a freaking stovetop or something like that, yeah, ooh, it might be a better choice. No, don't do that. Burn your hand off, right? There's got to be those boundaries. But when you're saying it, you should give choice, empower. It's, otherwise you're going to feel like you're not in control of self. Everybody else around you that's saying that is in control of you. Anyway, are you good with that, Kev? Give it practice, matey. Just start practicing it. Go and check out my last vlog. I dropped one today, a little bit later this afternoon, but go and have a look at that. That vlog I put out there, and I'm going to love yous and leave yous and go and eat. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, And I may do one on Friday morning. I don't know yet. I'm just playing it by ear and doing it as I want it, you know. So hope everybody's sweet as a nut. Yeah. And enjoy your week, the rest of your weekend, and stay that course, guys. Namaste.